Amy Bradley's brother Brad is addressing a theory that Scientology may have had something to do with Amy's disappearance. The Church of Scientology owns a ship called Freewinds, which was docked next to the Royal Caribbean cruise ship that Amy disappeared from. Freewinds has allegedly been used for forced labor and isolation. Multiple ex-Scientologists have come forward with these allegations. And like I said, on the morning that Amy vanished, this ship was docked right next to their cruise ship. There have been theories floating around the internet that maybe Amy was coerced onto the ship. A few days ago, Amy's brother Brad shared a long tweet as to why he thought this theory may have been true. Brad says that the night before Amy disappeared from the cruise in 1998, she was talking for almost an hour with two black women in matching uniforms. And they weren't Royal Caribbean uniforms. They were wearing navy skirts and light blue button-down shirts. Brad says that when Amy's parents went over to say goodnight to her, the women just completely stopped talking and they didn't interact with their parents. In his tweet, Brad says that the FBI know who these two women are, but they won't disclose any information about them. After Amy went missing, her family stayed at a hotel in Curacao. They were obviously under emotional distress, and Brad says that his mother wanted to find a priest to pray with them. But he says around midnight, two Scientology officers from the Freewind ship showed up to their hotel room door. They said that they helped people who were grieving, but that they started to ask very specific questions about Amy, like what kind of cigarettes she smoked, her favorite beer, and her favorite snacks. Brad said they were with them for over an hour, and looking back, it felt more like an interrogation. The officers even invited the family to visit the Freewind ship, but they declined. Brad says he later realized that the two women who were talking to Amy were wearing the same uniforms that the Freewind staff wore. Brad began to wonder if the women were trying to recruit Amy onto the ship. Over the years, Amy was reportedly spotted in places including Aruba, Curacao, and Barbados, all places that the Freewinds routinely travels to. There was even a sighting in San Francisco near a Scientology church. Brad says that the theory has haunted him for 27 years, but he did share an update on Twitter after speaking to several former high-ranking Scientologists, including people who were on the Freewind ship at the time. They all told him that it was extremely unlikely that Amy was ever brought on board the ship, but they did admit that it was weird that two Scientology officers showed up to their hotel room and began to ask personal questions about Amy. Brad says he is finally at peace with letting this theory go. In his tweet, he apologizes if the theory was ever off base, but says that what matters now is finding out the truth. And he believes now is the last time they will ever have to find Amy or find out what happened to her. Let me know your thoughts down below and follow me for more.